Let me back up a little bit. So before I did, the adult industry, I was a Michelin star trained
Right.
chef. And so for 18 years, I did nothing but keep my head down and work my butt off all the time. Didn't even really participate in social media until the pandemic. So I didn't know.
What's going on, guys? Webstyle, the man, the voice of fragrance, here with the lovely, the vibration, excuse me, vivacious. I can't even speak tonight. It's been a long night, ladies and
Vivacious.
gentlemen.
I'm
Vivacious. Thank
vivacious.
you. Melody Melons. How are you
Melanie.
doing this evening?
I'm good,
Melanie.
but it's Melanie Melons.
Melanie Melons.
Yeah. Some people
Okay,
say
great.
melody, but it's Melanie, like two
Melanie Melons.
melons.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. Now, one question I always ask, and I'll
Yeah.
get into some of your bio because it's absolutely fascinating.
Thanks.
what what prompted you to get into the adult industry?
The pandemic.
That is a very that is a tale as old as time right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I didn't like jump into it when the pandemic started. I was like,
Right.
I'm a late bloomer at everything, let me tell you, even in life. So it was like 2022, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
someone made a joke online, said, oh, you should start OnlyFans, yuck, yuck, yuck. And I thought, So like the end of 2022, I'm like, oh, let's start this and see what it's all about, right? Yeah. So
Right.
even then I was late. But yeah, the pandemic.
Okay. So one of the things that I've found fascinating now, particularly women. Did you start with OnlyFans, right? So with
Mhm.
OnlyFans, and I always say the direct to consumer model because I think of just how our consumer aspects have changed because of the internet, and so many things are direct to consumer. We've had so many brands that have pretty much cut out the middleman and sold things directly to consumer because of the internet, Instagram, social media provides essentially free marketing.
Yeah.
And I feel like, OnlyFans and the similar websites are pretty much the same thing. So I always say direct to consumer because that's exactly what it is. You're cutting out the middleman, you're cutting out the studios. But in that, you become the director, you are the talent, you become the producer, you may be the editor um, as well. How much of a challenge was it for you to pretty much, and again, on your background, you've done a lot of things, but to really be in that world and to do it yourself, so to speak.
Oh, I had no idea what I was doing. Probably still don't, to this day. But I had no clue. Like I didn't start. Let me back up a little bit. So before I did, the adult industry, I was a Michelin star trained
Right.
chef. And so for 18 years, I did nothing but keep my head down and work my butt off all the time. Didn't even really participate in social media until the pandemic. So I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know CapCut. I didn't know editing. I didn't know put a light in the back, so that it, show. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about content or compliance or testing or any of it. So I had to learn
Right.
all of it from the ground up. All I knew how to do was make cute little food videos in a low cut top on Instagram. That's about all I could do. And have
Right.
a Facebook group. That was it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I always found it interesting. I know just even this journey on myself, where I've always been very technologically inclined, especially as like the video and, even we are talking before as far as, streaming recording platforms, trying to figure out what works for me and what I can do. That was still somewhat of a challenge finding the right fits. And I am technologically inclined. I can imagine so many especially with the pandemic, those who went in, you are going in, you're an attractive woman or man or whatever you are, and you're like, hey, I'm going to use OnlyFans, and then you jump in and you realize this is a lot more than just setting up a phone and doing certain things with my phone. Like there's a
Yeah.
you want to edit, you want to promote, you want to market, and all those things.
hmm You have to network. You have to. It's a lot.
Yeah.
People think, oh yeah, you just put a phone on the corner and yeah, you do whatever you're gonna do. Yeah, but no, there's more to it than that. And honestly, that whole niche of, I don't know what category it's in, but that niche of you to put your phone in the corner on a tripod, or you hope it's on a tripod, and you just go for it. That's not my style of porn. That's some
Right.
people's style, but that's not my style. And so I think I've struggled with that from the beginning.
Yes. Speaking of styles, one of the things I heard in the interview that you had, first of all, with your name, your name is very much a throwback to, say, 80s, 90s, when you think of people like Wendy Whoppers and whatnot. And,
Yeah,
you know,
Tiffany
it's very,
Towers and
yeah,
right.
right. Is very alliterative with regards to your endowments. But also, I was listening, and you very much spoke about like when you're working with the studios, like there's a story, there's motivation, like there is something for an audience to follow and have fun with outside of just the sex.
Yeah.
And why is it? Why is that particular aspect of things appealing to you?
What can you rephrase that?
As
So,
far as being in scenes where there's like a story, there are characters, why does that appeal to you as a
oh,
performer?
I mean, uh I feel like I was born to be on stage and to act anyway. At like, 3 years old, my family put me on top of a pipe organ on a stage. It was April Fools, and my cousin was the organist, right? And instead of him, it was me, and they had me turn around and go, "April Fools, everybody!" at like 3. So I feel like
Mhm.
I've always kind of been meant to be on stage. In high school, I was in drama and a international thespian. It's kind of like followed me my whole life, and so I like things that are interesting for me to do, but also the type of porn that I watch. When I watch it, I'm there for the story. Like, I'm a weirdo. Everyone's there for the sex, right? I'm like, no, I really like the story. Like, and I pick apart people that are bad actors even if it's in porn. So I try to gravitate to things that are more, I don't know, mainstream or more refined, or it just feels better to me. It feels like I'm actually creating something instead of just, sucking someone's dick and, with good lighting.
Right. No, I think what you said though, I think that may be very indicative of dare I say age. I'm 46. So I
Okay.
definitely remember you know, the stuff that I was exposed to as a young man, especially a lot of stuff in the 80s, these were movies. These were films.
Yeah.
They had stories, they had characters.
Yeah.
One of the things my frat brother used to bemoan years ago was the fact that there were no stories anymore. Everything was just a scene. And even now, I forgot who I was talking to, but we were, and this is not anybody interview, just like a friend. I forget. It was a conversation a while ago, but we talked about like the acting part, like seeing scenes and seeing how people really are acting, especially a lot of the safe for work clips. Like you can
Yeah.
tell who really is committed to what they're doing outside of the sex. And I think that because we have like Anna Fox, who's crossed over and done some mainstream films, and there are other actors and actors on mainstream as well. I've always appreciated that when a performer in the adult industry is very much committed to the acting part of things as well. It shows that, at least for me, like you're really taking it seriously as a craft, as an art form, not just the sex part.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I take this. Yeah. I don't think of it as just the sex part. That's honestly, I mean, maybe it's the wrong thing to say on a podcast, but that's the last part that I think of, because
Right,
that's the easy part. Like, you're gonna show up. That's easy. We all know that's gonna happen. But the
right,
rest of it, like the lead up and
right.
just all of it, like it matters. And because I don't know, in my weird little mind, like every scene can be a part of like a larger project. Like, I've done a couple featurettes with some friends. um
Hmm.
uh Auntie Melon's Visits, right? And the other one
Hmm.
was Return of the Melons, right? And so they were like
Hmm.
five scenes in total. One was like 90 minutes long. Yeah. But everything kind of led into each other, and there were characters, and we built on for the first feature. And so I always see a scene as like an extension or a part of something bigger.
Got you. You definitely sound like you have a lot of fun with what you do.
I do. I try. Yeah, I try.
Good. Now, with the adult industry, you have essentially you're in another, I say phase of your life.
Hmm.
What has been some of the biggest changes in this phase compared to the last phase of your life?
Oh, I have a way better ass. I mean, that's probably that's it's new. I'm so proud of her. I love her so much. She's really opened doors. First the boobs opened doors and now she's helping. So that's the that's the biggest change. I think the other change, I don't know. I've realized in this industry that I'm not looking to date. Dating's not my thing.
Hmm.
Um yeah, that's probably the biggest thing that I'm okay on my own is I don't know. It's like that's a hard question because so many things have changed. Like my finances have changed, my outlook on things have changed. I think the probably the only thing that's staying the same is my politics, maybe, and you know, I'm a woman. Of course, they're going to say the same.
Right.
um, yeah. Sorry, I got a little lost.
No, no, that's absolutely fine. With things staying the same, particularly when the dating part, why, maybe not why is that main focus? Is it because you don't feel the need to date because of the industry, or it's been hard to date because of the industry?
Uh, it's not that I can't say that it's been hard because I haven't tried because I'm just
Okay.
not like okay. My last boyfriend was 2007, so
Oh, wow.
yeah, like he put a really bad taste in my mouth, and I haven't really wanted to go back to that party since. So being in this industry, I don't know, it's made me feel more confident in my decision to not have a partner like that.
Okay.
It makes it way easier for me to navigate everything that I need to do in the industry.
Right.
I don't have to worry about someone's feelings, and they don't have to worry about mine.
That's understandable. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to stack my paper right now, not, you know, have dinner ready when you get home. Although I'm very good at being that person too.
Got you. You work for a lot of companies. I want to ask you, what was it like, or what is it like making a VR scene?
I really love VR. I want to get better at it. I want to have a whole store of it. Um, uh, I'm a really good talker, so I can just
Mhm.
talk and talk and talk, like they're like,
Mhm.
here's the camera and you gotta talk for like 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, are you sure? Because everyone, 45. I'm like, no, trust me, I'm Italian. I got this. It's fine. Um, I like it that it's all me. It's all like it's gonna be my creation. Whatever my little brain comes up with in that moment, that's what's
Mhm.
gonna come out and that's what they're gonna believe. Um I like it because it's in the end it's delivering a more immersive experience for the viewer, and ultimately that's what I want to deliver. I would love to have like an AI ecosystem where they could be fully immersed with like a wearable wristlet or something. Don't even get me started on these things, but I love VR. If that's that's a good answer for it.
Okay. Yeah, I find it interesting, just VR in general, um, with the possibilities
Yeah,
of it, from a sensual, sensual, sort of aspect of things, and especially, we're already there with some degree with, whether it is, well, it's not quite VR, it's still like the Bluetooth controlled toys. And I saw this one thing where, like, toys kind of went along with the motion of videos and things of that nature.
yeah,
Uh, so we're definitely getting there, with
yeah. There's
regards to
all
that.
yeah. There's all sorts of. I could be a total geek on this and tell you all about it, but because there's haptic feedback suits, right?
Right.
There's a company, Be Haptic. If you want to start a project using their stuff, they'll actually let you use their technology as long as you're giving them credit for it. It's an
Hmm.
amazing technology. I mean, they've got. Yeah, sorry, I'll be a total geek about it, but
No,
yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
it's.
We're all geeks here.
Well, no, I mean, I love the idea of it being fully immersive because, like,
Mhm.
with the haptic feedback suits, you've got things on your hands and on top of your feet and on your legs and all over here, and there's different pressure points. And if you can put scent in there too, it can be a fully immersive, like, like they won't need real humans after a while if you can
Right.
program it right. And I
Right.
just think it helps some people because some people are, I don't know, we're not all social creatures, right? Some of us
Right.
are so introverted, like leaving the house is painful. So this is something that
Yes.
can help alleviate that loneliness, I think, for people. So long story short, I love VR. I love AR. I'm all about it. Did that answer your
Understood.
question? I
Yes,
ramp. I
yes.
smoke a lot of weed. I do.
That's perfectly fine. Ram, look, we're here to talk, and that's perfectly fine. So let me ask you this, and this is something I feel like maybe because I'm a certain age and I kind of notice certain things more so now. There seems to be a really big explosion of sort of that MILF guilt category.
Yeah.
There are and while it's not the same, it seems like tangential, like even like the hot wife category as well. With that, do you feel like you sort of got in at the perfect time? This is
Um, yeah, I mean, I I wish I had gotten into it 20 years sooner. I would have an
Mhm,
island by now, but I would
right,
have been a total bitch back then, so it's better that I started now. Um, right, I'm not quite, bitchy.
right.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect time. I also think that the whole MILF GILF thing is being completely paralleled in mainstream. Like if you look at all of the awards from the
Mhm,
last year or so,
mhm,
the women that are winning these awards are not the young 20, 30 something year old. They are the mature women that are going up there that have honed their craft, and it's
right.
it's the same across the board. It's just we're being cherished more for you know our maturity and our experience and stuff.
Right. With that, do you think that, because I think I heard in a video, you talked about how not just the preparation, but what you do to keep yourself in shape.
Hmm.
Do you feel like maybe being in the industry gives you not just more incentive, but a better understanding of your body to keep yourself together?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's one of your tools for work. Like when I was a chef, I had to sharpen my knives all the time
Right.
because it's your craft. So no matter what it is, whether it's porn or food or
Mhm.
you're a mechanic, you still have to hone your craft. You have to take care of all the tools that you have, and in the adult industry, your body is your biggest tool. So and being an adult, I mean, you're against other people of the same mindset that are just as even more perfect, in
Mhm.
every way. And so, yeah, you're absolutely more aware of it. Definitely more so than when I was in a kitchen. I mean, I was still hot in the kitchen, but
Right.
in a different.
For a different way, yes. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the kitchen. You were a Michelin star chef. Before I get to like how you became a chef, where did you find your passion for cooking? Like, where did that come from?
I've been cooking since I was like it's till I was old enough to like be in the kitchen with my grandma. I think like 3 years old, and Sunday supper. I'm Italian, so all my aunts and uncles would come over.
Mhm.
Back in the 70s and 80s, we still had a large family, so there'd be 30, 40 people on a Sunday, and I'd be in the kitchen with my grandma at early in the morning. We'd be making meatballs every Sunday, and so that's where my love for food has always come from, because my grandmother taught me that when someone comes into your home, it's your responsibility to not only nourish them but nurture them as well. And so that kind has just always kind of been instilled in me. Like even when I was a stripper for a long time, I still had everyone over for Sunday supper. All the girls, all the door guys, anyone that didn't have family was welcome at my house for Sunday supper.
Okay. So when were you a stripper?
Before I was a chef.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was the number one girl, well, one of the top 10 girls in Southern California for like 10 years. And then I was like maybe 11 or 12 for the other eight, but I was right up there.
Wait a minute. You were a stripper
Uh-huh.
for
17, it's 18 years, and then I was a chef for
18 and
17.
then goodness,
Mhm.
you really are in like the third act of your life.
Yeah, but this is the best one so far.
That's awesome. Most people wish they had those sort of transitions in their lives as far as like you literally have that's a lifetime, but like a normal job experience in one one field and then you went and reinvented yourself in another, and now you're reinventing yourself in another. That's amazing.
Thank you. I think it's the reinvention part that really fuels me. Maybe.
How is that you essentially have gotten a chance to recreate who you are. You
Mhm.
have gotten a chance to not just like within your personal life, but also your public persona. What has that been like compared to being a chef?
Um, I get the notoriety and the like the public acknowledgement now. And I when I was a chef, I really wish I would get that would have gotten it that then, because it's
Mhm.
such a hard job, you know.
Right.
And so part of me wish, as much as I love this, um, sorry, repeat the question because I'm afraid I'm going to get off track.
As far as the reinvention part,
Oh,
you reinvented yourself.
yeah. It's been it's really interesting because it came at a time in my life when I was reinventing myself anyway. I think we all were
Mhm.
during the pandemic,
Yes.
right? We all had time to figure out who we really were and what was really at our core and stuff, because we had a chance to pause and go, ah. And so I think this reinvention, the birth of Melony Melons, has been part of who I've been the whole time.
Right. Got you.
Yeah.
Now, I talked about your name and how it's such an alliteration to sort of classic, say, 80s, 90s porn. Were there anyone, was there anyone like in the industry that you watched that you like, wow, this person is great and I really enjoy what they do, say, before you got into the industry?
No.
Well,
I
that's
I
fine.
know I'm supposed to have I know I'm supposed to have an answer for you.
No, you
But
aren't. No, no.
like, I saw some people, but I
Uh-huh.
don't remember any of them. Um, yeah, I'm like, I remember some Bang Bro scenes that
Okay.
I watched, but nobody stands out. I used to think the Bang Bro scenes were real. Don't tell them.
I did too back in the day. And
And
then
I
I'm
used to
like,
be
"Oh,
so
wait a
upset for
minute."
the girl. I used to be like,
Yeah,
"Girl, go get your money. Don't let him do that."
right,
But I'd still watch the next one.
right. But no, you don't need an answer. Let me tell you, it's always there's some people who they got into the industry because they love this person, love that person, and then they're the other spectrum. Now, I never even watched adult films or anything before I got into the industry. So no, I just find that question fascinating because everybody's answer is so different. I mean, everyone's answer is so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool, 'cause, like, because you as again, I always say as a normie, you would think, somebody's in the industry, like they've watched movies and, they have people that they were favorites and they got in because they wanted to do this. And then, I talked to people, it was like, no, well, I like so and so. Like I really didn't watch that much when before I got in. And
Yeah.
so that's a very common answer,
Is it?
actually. Yeah.
Well, I've since learned, actually a couple weeks ago, I learned that I should actually be doing research and watching porn if I'm going to shoot it. So, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You are obviously a very well endowed woman. Um, when it do you feel like maybe that not it do you feel like you might get typecast because you're well endowed? Do you think that possibly maybe that sometimes doesn't allow you to get scenes or book work? I would probably think not, but it's a question.
Um, that is a good question. I think sometimes it does hold me back.
Mhm,
Um, I think it's especially, I think it held me back more before I had my BBL because I
mhm.
wasn't as, now I'm more like balanced, you
Yes.
know? But I have heard from agents in the industry that have
Hmm.
told people I know that my boobs are too big, and I'm like, I thought we were shooting porn. What? They're too big. Okay. Yeah. So
That
crazy. I know. Crazy. I
that's
know.
crazy.
Uh huh. Especially how perfect they are. Like, have you seen them out of the top?
I
My
have,
God.
yes. I went to
They
your Twitter,
hang, they
yes.
move, they wrap around. Like, I don't
Yes.
understand that comment, but whatever.
Uh, yeah, I'll comment
I'm
later.
speechless.
But that I am blown away by that, like that even in comment. But okay,
Yeah, but that's okay.
yeah,
That's okay
that's
because
okay.
I'm just going to show that agent that he was completely
Right,
wrong and be a star regardless. So it's
right.
fine. I just have to show them that this was their what their opinion should have been. I think.
Now you kind of answered this question earlier, but I want to see if I get more in depth.
Uh,
You getting into the industry as a woman of a certain age, do you think that gives you maybe a better focus and professionalism than say compared to, someone a talent is like drastically younger, or you kind of lose yourself, you 20 years ago,
what was the last part about me 20 years ago?
as far as, or even you 20 years ago, because you made the illusion that if you done this 20 years ago, you probably been a lot more bitchy than you are now. So
Oh
I would,
yeah.
yeah,
1 second. I'm gonna sneeze.
no problem.
Maybe. No, just kidding. Sorry. Just went away. Um, I think that my age definitely helps me because I'm more mature on set.
Mhm.
Um, I've known several other talents that are younger and they can't even get on the plane on time. So yeah, I think it definitely helps. Um, what was the rest of the question?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Like that's what really I was looking forward to. Because one of the things I just in conversations, and again, not everybody, but a lot of the performers I've talked to that have been around for a while, one of the words that keeps coming up is professionalism and being professional.
Yeah.
And yes, we are having sex on camera, but this still is a business. And
Yeah.
I am doing a job, and it's about showing up on time. It's about being respectful to everybody. And
Yeah.
that is a common theme I hear from those that have been in the business a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, but professionalism goes to more than just like showing up on time
Right.
and being there. At least in my opinion, at least
Mhm.
for the males. I think it's harder for them. You know.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Because um. Yeah, I would have a lot to say. There's some males who get in the industry and they're not prepared. And
Yes.
so whether it's male or female, I think the age is definitely a bonus.
Yeah, I can see that. As a male in general, I can only I couldn't fathom the sort of pressure to perform, regardless of how good or well endowed you are on a porn set, and especially with some of the stories I hear as far as how long it really takes, and always having to be at attention, and with
Yeah.
some can't handle that, but also you gotta think of the lifestyle, and some just can't deal with the lifestyle, and I think that's in general, but I can definitely understand the lack of professionalism that some people may have when they get into the industry.
Yeah, I think it takes a while. And I think the age just kind of mellows you out and makes you like cool all the way around. I mean, in my opinion,
No, but I think that makes sense. Being as old as I am, I said it like I'm decrepit, but you see
Yeah, I'm
things
like, come on,
differently.
you're younger than me. Stop. By a
Like,
lot. So
well, you see things through a different lens from your experience. You slow down a bit more. You analyze a bit more. You definitely are more understanding, I think, to some degree, because you've kind of been there, done that. And if you haven't, you know people that have.
yeah,
So I think you maybe give people a bit more grace as well with regards to whether mistakes in life or just, the little bumps and creaks and trips we have throughout the path in life. So that makes sense.
yeah.
So, so with that, I have to ask you though, what fragrances are you into?
What fragrances?
Yes, perfumes. Are you into any fragrances? Perfumes?
I like Issey Miyake.
Okay.
I like Pure by Tiffany.
Okay.
I like Be Delicious, Light Blue,
That's a good one.
um, Daisy by Michael Kors. Um, that's pretty much rounds out. And then you got Bath and Body Works scents and stuff like the In the Stars or Into the Night, whatever it's called. I like the musky ones of that. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
And
gotta.
you, what are your favorite ones?
Oh, right now, like I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I'm wearing Tom Ford's Black Orchid today.
Okay.
But my like I have God too many. But my top three that I will always have in my collection are Zaharoff Signature Pour Home, Ovation for Men, and then Oxford Blue from English Laundry, because that one is like when I smell that, that's what got me into fragrances. I was like, oh my God,
Okay.
this is good. And it drove women crazy, which was really
Nice.
I was never a cologne guy, and then I wore it, and it's like,
Yeah, and then the
what
first
are
one goes by,
you?
I go, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what are
Right.
you wearing? Oh, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, they linger on that hug just a little longer.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
that got me. And then I don't even know how many, I stopped counting. There are at least 60 bottles that I'm looking at right now. I literally have, I literally have, like, I have cologne all around this room,
You
like
have cologne
yeah,
what?
all around the room. Like it's
Oh,
some on the
that's
desk
funny.
here, some on the nightstand over there, on the shelf over there. It's probably a bottle buried under the crap I have next to me right here too.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely a cologne head in that regard. But Melanie, I want to thank you very much for your time. It has definitely been it's been a wonderful time talking to you. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me pretty much across the board on MELONY MELONS XXX, which is Melanie Melons triple X, a really long way, on most platforms. So look me up there.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Definitely look her up. You're gonna like what you see. That's all I gotta say. Website style, the man, the voice of fragrance. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your listening. And remember, stay safe out there and be blessed.